If you've been waking up early, chugging coffee, hitting the gym, and still feel exhausted, foggy, or just off, this is probably exactly why. Stop. Before you make your coffee this morning, before you lace up your sneakers, you need to hear this first. Everyone is optimizing their morning routine right now. Cold plunges, 5 a.m. wake-ups, journaling, green powders. The wellness industry sold you a very specific picture of what a healthy morning looks like, and almost everyone is doing it completely backwards, not slightly off. Backwards. Here's what nobody is talking about. The order and timing of your morning habits may be actively spiking a hormone that science now links to accelerated aging, immune suppression, and chronic fatigue. That hormone is cortisol. And the routine you were told was healthy. It might be flooding your body with it at the worst possible moment. I'm going to show you exactly what's happening inside your body between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m., and why the advice you've been following is based on a fundamental misunderstanding of human biology. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you changes everything. Here's the truth mainstream wellness culture buried. Your body already has a built-in morning optimization system. It's called the cortisol awakening response, the CAR. Within the first 30 to 45 minutes of waking up, your cortisol levels naturally spike by 50 to 160%. That is not a bug. That is your body's biological alarm system. It is designed to sharpen your focus, mobilize energy, suppress inflammation, and prepare you for the demands of the day. This is your body doing exactly what it evolved to do. Now here is where it gets betrayal level infuriating. What does almost every popular morning routine tell you to do in that exact window? Drink coffee, hit the gym, take a cold shower, check your phone. Every single one of those behaviors artificially amplifies an already elevated cortisol spike. You are essentially pouring gasoline on a fire that was already burning at the perfect temperature. The result? Your cortisol peaks too high, stays elevated too long, and then crashes, leaving you wired in the morning, exhausted by 2 p.m., and reaching for your third coffee before dinner. Sound familiar? You were not failing at your routine. Your routine was failing you. And the people selling you that routine either didn't know this or didn't care. Let's get specific, because this is where it gets fascinating and a little terrifying. The hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, your HPA axis, begins signaling cortisol release about an hour before you even open your eyes. By the time your alarm goes off, your cortisol is already climbing. That first 30 to 45 minutes after waking is your cortisol awakening response window. This is your highest natural cortisol output of the entire day. Now think about what caffeine does. Caffeine blocks adenosine receptors, the receptors that make you feel sleepy, and simultaneously triggers your adrenal glands to produce even more cortisol and adrenaline. When you drink coffee during the CAR window, you are artificially stacking an already massive cortisol spike. Research from the United States Army Institute of Public Health, published in the journal Chronobiology International, suggests the optimal window for caffeine consumption is between 9:30 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. for most people, not 6 a.m., not the moment you wake up. Now add intense exercise. High-intensity training is a cortisol-generating event. Your body treats it as a physical stressor. Done during the natural CAR peak, you are tripling down on a system that is already running hot. The downstream effects are not subtle. Elevated inflammation markers, disrupted sleep architecture that night, impaired testosterone production, and suppressed immune function. This is not a minor inconvenience. This is a let's talk evidence, because I'm not asking you to take my word for this. In 2021, researchers at University College London studied cortisol patterns in over 3,500 participants and found that individuals who consumed caffeine within the first 60 minutes of waking had significantly higher afternoon cortisol crashes and reported 34% higher rates of chronic fatigue symptoms compared to those who delayed caffeine intake. A landmark 2016 study published in the journal Psychoneuroendocrinology examined the relationship between morning exercise timing and cortisol dysregulation. The researchers found that high-intensity exercise performed during the natural car window elevated all-day cortisol exposure and, critically, disrupted slow-wave sleep the following night. Here's the pattern interrupt you weren't expecting. The people in that study who exercised at 7 a.m. were actually sleeping worse than the people who did not exercise at all. Not better. Worse. Meanwhile, cold exposure, cold showers, cold plunges, shown in research by Dr. Susanna Soberg in 2022, published in Cell Metabolism, to boost norepinephrine by up to 300%, is another cortisol-amplifying stressor. Done at the wrong time, it compounds an already dysregulated morning stress response. The data is consistent. The biological reality is clear. Stacking cortisol-amplifying behaviors into your highest cortisol window of the day is not optimization. It is biological self-sabotage dressed up as discipline. So why has nobody told you this? This is the part that should make you angry. The 5 a.m. hustle culture was never built on endocrinology. It was built on productivity mythology. The idea that waking up early, attacking the day, and pushing your body hard from minute one is a sign of discipline and health. That idea was sold to you by people who profited from your anxiety about not doing enough. The supplement industry sells you pre-workout for 6 a.m. sessions. The app economy sells you habit trackers that reward streaks, not biology. The fitness influencer sells you their morning routine without a single mention of circadian rhythms. And the biggest lie of all? That if you feel tired despite your healthy morning routine, the answer is more discipline. More coffee. Another supplement. Wake up even earlier. You were never told that the structure of the routine itself was the problem. That hitting a cortisol peak of 160% above baseline and then deliberately spiking it further with caffeine, cold, and intense exercise is not the behavior of someone optimizing their health. It is the behavior of someone unknowingly running their adrenal system into the ground. The mainstream wellness advice machine did not lie to you out of malice, but it absolutely prioritized your engagement, your purchases, and your dependence over your actual biology. And that is a betrayal you deserve to know about. All right, here is what you actually do. This is the protocol built around your biology, not against it. Step 1. Give yourself a 20 to 30-minute cortisol buffer after waking. No caffeine, no phone, no high-intensity anything. Expose yourself to natural morning light within 10 minutes of waking. This anchors your circadian rhythm and optimizes your natural car without amplifying it. Even 5 minutes outside works. Step 2. Delay your coffee. I know. But wait until your natural cortisol begins its first decline, typically 90 minutes to 2 hours after waking. This is when caffeine actually works with your biology instead of against it. The energy feels more sustainable. The crash is far less severe. Try it for 7 days, and the difference will be undeniable. Step 3. Move your high-intensity workouts to late morning or early afternoon, between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. When cortisol is naturally declining, and your core body temperature and reaction time are peaking. This is when your body is actually primed for performance. Step 4. And this is where the affiliate mention belongs. If you have been dealing with chronic fatigue, afternoon crashes, or sleep disruption, your cortisol regulation may already be compromised. A cortisol support stack containing ashwagandha KSM66, phosphatidylserine, and rhodiola rosea, all 3 of which have peer-reviewed evidence supporting HPA axis regulation, can meaningfully support your body's stress response system during the reset period. I'll link the specific stack I recommend in the description below. I also recommend pairing this with a health tracking app like Whoop or Oura Ring, which maps your actual energy peaks and recovery windows throughout the day. So you're timing your habits to your biology, not a generic schedule someone posted on Instagram. Step 5. Protect your wind down. Your cortisol should be near its lowest between 10 p.m. and midnight. Every screen, every stress, every argument in that window spikes it again and delays melatonin release. Your morning actually starts the night before. Here is the loop we opened at the start, now closed. You were not failing at your health goals because you lacked discipline. You were not failing because you needed a better supplement or an earlier alarm. You were failing because you were handed a morning routine designed around someone else's productivity aesthetic. And nobody told you it was running directly against the most fundamental system in your body. Your cortisol awakening response is one of the most powerful biological tools you have. It is free. It is built in. It has been optimized by millions of years of evolution. And for the last several years, you have been accidentally hijacking it every single morning. The fix is not complicated. Delay caffeine, delay intensity, add morning light. Time your effort to your actual energy peaks. Support your HPA axis if it's already dysregulated. And stop letting the wellness industry sell you discipline as a substitute for biology. You have been doing the hard work. Now do the right work. Your future self, the one who wakes up clear, energized, and actually healthy, is on the other side of this shift. If this video changed how you think about your morning, hit the like button right now. It genuinely helps this information reach people who need it. Subscribe if you want science-backed health content that actually respects your intelligence. Drop a comment below. What time do you usually drink your first coffee? I read every single one. The cortisol support stack and the health tracking app I mentioned are both linked in the description. I only recommend things with actual peer-reviewed evidence behind the ingredients, and I'll explain exactly why in the description notes. And if you want to go deeper on this topic, the video on how your sleep schedule is affecting your testosterone and cortisol balance is right here. Watch it next. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only. Nothing in this video constitutes medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional before making changes to your health routine, supplement use, or exercise program.